But this is a very special occasion also. Um, I am right now part of ISKCON. I am right now part of ISKCON ICC temple. Previously, I was part of ISKCON Salem. That's a very wonderful temple. The temple nurtured me in many ways. I read Srimad-Bhāgavatam a couple of times there, and I could distribute, not myself, but with the help of many devotees, we could distribute some 1,000 sets of Srimad-Bhāgavatam in my previous temple. But I want distribution of Bhagavatam to happen in many places. So with the permission of our Guru Maharaj, I'm just traveling to different places, and right now Narahari Chaitanya Prabhu, the temple president of ICC temple, has cordially accepted me here. And this is a special occasion now because we are doing a Bhagavata Saptaha. Bhagavata Saptaha generally refers to the hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam in 7 days. But that's a very bad title. One may think, what is this? The title given by them itself is called as a bad title. Actually, Bhagavata Sabdaha, the glorification of Bhagavatam or the speech of Srimad Bhagavatam can never happen in 7 days. That's not at all possible. Srimad Bhagavatam is unlimited. Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken for 7 days. That's true. There's no doubt of it. Shukadeva Goswami, the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, spoke to Parikshit Maharaj for 7 days at the time of his passing away of this mortal world. Parikshit's passing away. So that happened for 7 days, but Bhagavatam is unlimited. As our ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada used to say that one can take one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam and speak for 1 month. Then you can imagine there are 18,000 slokas in Srimad Bhagavatam. We can speak for 18,000 months. And who is going to live that long? And that doesn't mean that 18,000 months enough for Srimad Bhagavatam. Even one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam you can speak for eternity. So Srimad Bhagavatam is really unlimited. So whatever we can speak in these 7 days, so we have put that as Bhagavata Saptaha. Bhagavatam, which we as a mortal person, as a limited person, in a limited time, in a span of 7 days, what we can speak, that is Bhagavata Saptaha, that what we have titled. Otherwise, Bhagavatam is unlimited, we can speak for unlimited time. And the first day, it's Glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, some may be new to this class, or even many may be new to this class, and some may be even well versed in the text of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, for all the viewers of this particular class, I want to speak some glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. What is Srimad Bhagavatam all about? So, Srimad Bhagavatam is a very good literature, very nice literature. It's a literature virtuous, it's a righteous literature, it's a moral literature. I can say something like this: good, nice, virtuous, moral, or righteous. These things are not at all glorious of Srimad Bhagavatam. By saying such words like good literature, nice literature, this is not the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. I can speak something in a superlative way. Srimad Bhagavatam is an amazing literature. It's a fantastic literature. It's a superb literature. It's an awesome literature. It's Adbhuta in Sanskrit. It's the literature of Adbhuta. It's a wonderful literature. It's a terrible literature. Sometimes we purchase something from Flipkart or Amazon. In the comment we can say it's a terrible purchase. So we can say it's a terrible literature. It's a stunning literature. It's an astounding literature. So I can put all superlative words. Uttama Shloka Gunanavana. Bhagavatam itself says one can choose special words and glorify Krishna. So I can choose some special words in glorifying the supreme eternal literature Srimad Bhagavatam. This is just the beginning of a trillion-mile journey of the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. just baby steps, I can say in superlative words. Otherwise, Bhagavatam is just unlimited. Even glories of Srimad-Bhāgavatam is unlimited, that it just cannot be described in whatever best words that we can use. But it has to be glorified, so we use the best possible words to glorify Srimad-Bhāgavatam. It's such a literature that I can speak all about it for a long time, but unless one takes it, buys it, reads it, and understands it, then definitely one can relish it. So this is such a literature, Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So this is a big fortune for me. The devotee who gave an intro to me, that we have the good fortune of having, he said my name for this class today. But this is my great fortune that I am given an opportunity to glorify Srimad-Bhāgavatam. I'm very, very thankful to devotees who have assembled here, because they have given me an opportunity to glorify Srimad-Bhāgavatam. And we are all ever grateful to our ISKCON founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. It is because of him that somehow we are now hearing Srimad-Bhāgavatam's glories. In fact, now the whole world is in many ways engulfed in Krishna consciousness. It's all because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we are always indebted to him. And also to the Purva Acharyas who have mercifully passed down this transcendental knowledge to us. So now I am going to speak about a few glories of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Whatever I can, I'll just speak. This is, I'm feeling like Mother Ganga. It's such a vast river. It's a huge river. We know Ganga is really very vast. It's running for thousands of miles. I don't know, maybe it's some 3,000 kilometers, or you can say maybe some 2,000 miles from its beginning journey of Gangotri to the it just then finally comes down to the Indian Ocean. It's really a big river is Mother Ganga. And for information to all devotees, either they have heard Srimad-Bhāgavatam or they have not heard Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Mother Ganga is not just running for a length of some 3,000 kilometers or 2,500 kilometers in the earthly planet. In the earthly planet, we can say it is just running for 2,500 or 3,000 so kilometers. Actually, Mother Ganga is so huge that it is falling right from the sky. It's running in heavenly planet also, then in all the other planets, and it is brought to the earthly planet. And the source of the Ganga in earthly planet is Gangotri. And Ganga is still going down also. All the lokas it is going. So Ganga is present from upper planet down to the lower planet. So Ganga is really huge. So if someone is saying, can you speak about the glories of Ganga? What I can speak? It's really such a huge river. Just standing in front of Ganga is just mind-blowing. What a huge river. In many places, Ganga even has a width of close to 1.5 kilometers to even in some places some 7 kilometers. It is really huge. I'm just saying the width of Ganga is in few places 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, just the width. If somebody has traveled by train across such a huge river, then you can just see for 5 kilometers you have to travel by train just to cross the width. Then the length of Ganga is huge. So we can just imagine Ganga is so huge. How much we can speak about Mother Ganga for a long time. The glories of Ganga is sung throughout the universe, and Ganga is so huge that there are so many temples in many places of India. In the length of Ganga, which is running for some 2,500 so kilometers in India, there are hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of temples along the riverbed of Mother Ganga, and we can just imagine there are thousands and millions of stories connected with Mother Ganga, and for eons it has been running, and we can just see that Mother Ganga is so hugely present in the upper planets also. So the glories of Ganga is just unimaginable. It is really huge, and we have to speak of Mother Ganga. Means what we can speak. A tiny person coming in front of Mother Ganga, what he can do? he can just simply take a dip in Mother Ganga, take some water from it and offer it back to the Ganga. So similarly, what I can speak from Srimad-Bhāgavatam and its glories. Interestingly, we know the famous words about Lord Vamanadev, glorified in Dashavatara Sloka. It said that Chalayasi Vikramane Bali Adbhuta Vamana Padana Kanira Janita Janapavana. It's mentioned that Lord Vamana, when he came as a dwarf Brahmana and took 3 steps of land from Bali Maharaj, in the first step he covered the whole sky. And while covering the whole sky, the tip of the toes of the Supreme Lord Vamana just made a small scratch in the top of the universe. And because of that scratch, the water which was just above the universe, the Vrajanati, it just washed the lotus feet of Lord Vamana and then it just came to the material universe. In that way, the Ganga entered the heavenly planets and then down to the earthly planet and then also to the lower planets. So, a river which I just spoke something about how great that river is, has so much glories, and that river is just coming to this material universe just because of a small scratch made by the tip of the toe of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is Mother Ganga, and it has so much glories. And Srimad-Bhāgavatam, it is non-different from Krishna. Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvashya. Then how much we can speak about Srimad-Bhāgavatam? It is really unlimited. In fact, the two lotus feet of Krishna is compared to the first and second cantos of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Then we can imagine if the tip of the toe of the Supreme Lord has so much glories, then we can just imagine that the 2 cantos of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, the first 2 of the 12 total cantos, is the whole lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Then so much we can speak about Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Srimad-Bhāgavatam is unlimited. As I said, Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvashaya Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Arthakaya. There is so much to say about Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Prati Shloke Prati Akshare. Shastra says, especially this comes in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Prati Shloka, Prati Akshara, even 1 shloka or even half shloka or akshara, it has unlimited meanings. Nana Arthakaya. There are so many meanings. There is a direct meaning, indirect meaning, there is a meaning which is inferred, that is which is conveyed, which is hidden. Like that we can take so many meanings from each and every word of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So we can unlimitedly speak on Srimad-Bhāgavatam, and we can see how the Supreme Lord Krishna came in the form of Lord Chaitanya, and then he gave 60 different meanings to one particular shloka of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So we can unlimitedly speak on Srimad-Bhāgavatam, and for the glories of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, that is also unlimited. But still I just want to give a overview of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Bhagavatam overview, we can only say it is an underview, because what we can say about the glory, this is overview is, it's not possible. It should be only underview, because there is so much. As I said, it is Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So Srimad-Bhāgavatam, at least to our manifestation, is having 18,000 shlokas, and it is present in 12 cantos, and ISKCON Society is offering it in the form of 18 volumes, and with translation and commentary by His Divine Grace Avechananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So those who are having Bhagavatam, definitely make a daily study, daily reading of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. And those who don't have Srimad-Bhāgavatam, definitely this is a big misfortune. Without Srimad-Bhāgavatam, our life is a big misfortune, great misfortune. I cannot say how misfortune it is without Srimad-Bhāgavatam, but it is unlimited misfortune that we don't have Srimad-Bhāgavatam in our house. But if you don't have Srimad-Bhāgavatam, I humbly request that please convert all your misfortunes into great fortune by keeping Srimad-Bhāgavatam in your house. It is there in the Skanda Purana, Vaishnava Khanda, it is said that Bharate Manava Janma Prapya Bhagavata Naiha Sutam Papam Paridanai Atmagataka Tutai Kritaha. It is said that one who has taken his birth in Bharata, Bharate Manava Janma Prapya, one who has taken his birth as a human being in Bharatavarsha. This is not ordinary birth. Generally, people say that this birth in the Bharata is so glorious, or such a glory is the birth in Bharata. But what is that glory? Many are born in Bharata, even the plants, trees, even the animals, they are also born in Bharata. So taking birth in Bharata is considered glorious only when it comes into account the birth of a human being, particularly. Even taking a birth in any other species in India is very good. It's also fortunate. It's not that it's a bad fortune. At least you are born in India. In one way, it is a good fortune because there are possibilities of enlightenment even in lower species. But apart from that, it's meant for human beings particularly. So Shastra says, Bharate Manava Janma Prapya. So you have taken your birth in Bharata, that's glorious. But that glory doesn't come just because you are having a human birth in India. That also you should note, because you are just born in India with a human body, but you are not utilizing your human body for self-realization, which is actually possible in the holy land of Bharata. Then you are no better than an animal born in Bharata. So one who has taken his birth as a human being in Bharata, so Shastra says, Bhagavata Naya, Bharate Manava Janma Prapya. You took your birth in Bharata, Bhagavata Naya, but you don't have Bhagavatam. So Shastra says, Skanda Purana, it says that Sutam Papam Paridanai Atmakataka Tutai Kritaha, that you are committing suicide just by not keeping Srimad-Bhāgavatam in your house. If the other living beings taken their birth in Bharata, but there is anyway no possibility of having Bhagavatam in their house because it's just another species. But a human being born in Bharata must have Srimad-Bhāgavatam in their house. Otherwise, he is just simply committing suicide. Because the great fortune, the great treasure of the whole Veda, Sarva Veda Itihasanam Saram Saram Samudradam, the whole essence of the Vedic literature is present in Srimad-Bhāgavatam. If that Bhagavatam is not present in our house, then it is a great misfortune. There is no use keeping anything other than Srimad-Bhāgavatam in our house. Maybe for practical reasons you can keep something in our house. We need to daily take some food. We need our clothing. These are all there, okay. But definitely we are keeping so many other things. Say for example, smartphones, mobiles, or even washing machine, or a computer, laptop, or many other machines, gadgets which are possible nowadays, or people are keeping in their house, keeping all such things but not keeping Srimad-Bhāgavatam in their house, then actually they are committing suicide. So it's a great fortune to have Srimad-Bhāgavatam in our house, and it's a big misfortune if you are not keeping Srimad-Bhāgavatam in our house. So if devotees are not having, actually one can be called a devotee only if they are keeping Srimad-Bhāgavatam in their house. Otherwise, how we can call ourselves a devotee? It is said in Srimad-Bhāgavatam itself that Srimad-Bhāgavatam Vaishnava Prem. If you call yourself a devotee of Krishna, then you should keep Srimad-Bhāgavatam in your house. Otherwise, how you are calling ourselves a devotee of Krishna? Because Srimad-Bhāgavatam is not different from Krishna. Bhagavatam, Krishna, both are same, one and the same. Just as Krishna can come in the form of his holy name, he is not different from holy name. And Krishna is not different from his Dhama, from his spiritual abode Vrindavan. So similarly, Krishna is non-different from the literature called Srimad-Bhāgavatam. One can remember Krishna by having Tulsi in your house. One can remember Krishna by keeping paraphernalia of Krishna. But we should keep Srimad-Bhāgavatam in our house. That's actually keeping everything in our house. We are keeping all the holy tirthas in our house. That's also there. That's the glory of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. By keeping Srimad-Bhāgavatam in our house, all the holy tirthas are present. All the holy rivers are present. In fact, all the punyas that one can do is just possible by keeping Srimad-Bhāgavatam in your house, because you are keeping Krishna in your house. One can say that one can have a photo of Krishna, or one can say that I am having something which is connected with Krishna, but we are not so advanced that we can speak to Krishna by keeping a photo. But when we keep Srimad Bhagavatam, you can actually hear who is Krishna. We can hear directly Krishna. We can hear from the 12 Mahajanas mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj, or Narada Muni, or the 4 Chatur Kumaras, or the great person who takes the death, who the toll of death is taken by Lord Yamaraj. So he is speaking in Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Shiva, the great Vaishnava, Lord Shiva, he is speaking in Srimad Bhagavatam. So all great personalities, Vyasadeva, Shukadeva Goswami, Lord Brahma, they're all there in Bhagavatam speaking to us. So by keeping Srimad Bhagavatam, you can hear all great personalities and also the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. So we should keep Srimad Bhagavatam in our house. This is very, very important literature, and read it. One should read Srimad Bhagavatam. If you don't have Srimad Bhagavatam, buy Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you are having Srimad Bhagavatam and reading Srimad Bhagavatam, then please distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. This is also very important. We have to distribute. If you want to do something good to any person, the best welfare you can do to any person is by giving him Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you are already distributing Srimad Bhagavatam, I will request that you please distribute more Bhagavatam. If somebody is saying that I am even more distributing Srimad Bhagavatam, then we can say that you please unlimitedly distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. So you read, buy, distribute unlimited Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is very important. So please take advantage of the whole literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam sets with a tenure of the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. We just know that Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, but for kind information of devotees who have not started to read Srimad Bhagavatam, you should know that Shukadeva Goswami spoke Parikshit Maharaj Srimad Bhagavatam. But even before Shukadeva Goswami, Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken to Shukadeva Goswami by Vedavyas, his own father, and Vedavyas received Srimad Bhagavatam from Narada Muni. And Srimad Bhagavatam, the 12 cantos that we are speaking about, starts by saying that the Bhagavatam was spoken by Sota Goswami, one of the person who heard from Sukadeva Goswami. So Sota Goswami spoke Bhagavatam to the sages of Naimisharanya. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken in many places that you will see in Srimad Bhagavatam itself. Right now, I don't want to confuse where and all Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken, but you should know that Srimad Bhagavatam is always present. But 5000 years before, Shukadeva Goswami, in a very wonderful way, perfectly, in an astounding way, in an awesome way, presented the most delicious Srimad Bhagavatam to King Parikshit. This is some very small introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. We can speak so much glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. One glory I am remembering is that Srimad Bhagavatam is recommended by Krishna himself to the three big controllers of the material universe, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva. This story comes in Padma Puran. So there, Lord Brahma is praying to the Supreme Lord Krishna, because Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the one who bestows us knowledge. He is the one who gives us all intelligence to do any activity. So Lord Brahma, with his tapasya, he came to know that. Then Lord Brahma, he is about to begin the creation of the universe. So before starting his creation, after acquiring the ingredients of the creation from Lord Krishna, he is praying to Lord Krishna that, O Supreme Lord Krishna, I am going to do a very big activity of creating the material planets. So in the process of creation, I am afraid that I'll become puffed up, pride will overcome me, or I may think myself a big creator separate from you due to my false identification with this material body of Brahma. I humbly request you that let there not be any impediments in the creation, with the biggest element of considering myself an independent creator of this universe. So he prayed like this and asked for the mercy of Krishna that let me not fall down, let him not fall down from his position of a servant of Krishna. So after praying to Lord Krishna like this, he was requesting Lord Krishna that you tell me what I should do to protect myself from such a fall down. Then Lord Krishna said, to save yourselves from fall down of considering yourself as a big creator, please read Srimad-Bhāgavataṁ. This is what Lord Krishna said. Just take shelter of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, you will not fall down from your position. You can just imagine the great creator, Lord Brahma. He was informed by Lord Krishna to take shelter of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, not to fall down from his position of being a big creator, separate from Krishna. So he got the blessings of Lord Krishna in this way, and you can see the same story coming in Srimad-Bhāgavatam, how he prayed to Krishna, and in fact how he asked the same question, same way of prayer is coming in Srimad-Bhāgavatam also. So it's so wonderful that you will, while reading Bhagavatam, you will be able to hear all these things. Then the next creator, Lord Vishnu, he also prayed to Krishna. One may question, how is it possible? Lord Vishnu is not different from Krishna. Yes, Lord Vishnu is not different from Krishna, but Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu, he is an expansion of Krishna. All expansions of Krishna, beginning from Adi expansion, Lord Balaram, they are all meant for serving Krishna. That you will find throughout the Shastra. It is mentioned that Krishnastu Swayam, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, that he is the cause of all causes. All the expansions are also serving him. Lord Balaram, he is also serving Krishna, and we can see in the story of Lord Ram how Lord Ram was served by Bharata and Lakshmana, and they are also actually Vishnu Murtis. But ontologically seeing, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and all the expansions, even Vishnu Tattva expansions, are also meant for serving Krishna. So that's why we see in Brahma Samhita that Yashaika Nishvasita Kala Mathavalambhya Loma Vilaja Jagadandanada Vishnur Mahan Sahayasya Kala Vishesho Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. It's mentioned that Lord Brahma is saying even the great Mahavishnu, from whom all the big universes are emanating from the pores of his hair, from his body, that Mahavishnu is a subjective portion of the Supreme Lord Govinda, Krishna. So Mahavishnu is also an expansion of Krishna. He is doing the maintenance of the whole creation. So he is praying to Lord Krishna that, oh Lord Krishna, I should not think that I should always, no, he knows that, but then he is saying that let me always serve you as the subjective portion for creating this material universe. And then for that also Lord Mahavishnu was informed by Krishna that you please take shelter of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, you hear Srimad-Bhāgavatam, so that you also will always serve me in that way. Then the next great personality of the universe, Lord Rudra, he also requested the Lord that, oh Lord, you please tell me how I will always know that I am always an eternal servant of you, engaged in the process of destruction of this material universe. A powerful person, but still I should not be carried away with my existence as a great controller. So you please let me know what I should do, so that let me stick to my duty. So for that also Krishna informed the Lord Rudra, Lord Shiva, that you please hear Srimad-Bhāgavatam, then everything will be set right. So the three great personalities, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord himself, and also Lord Shiva, they took the mercy of Krishna by taking shelter of Srimad-Bhāgavataṁ. So we should know that such great literature is Srimad-Bhāgavatam, that even the great personalities of the universe, they also read it. Lord Brahma reads Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Lord Vishnu also hears Srimad-Bhāgavatam, and Lord Shiva, he also hears Srimad-Bhāgavatam, and Brahma, Vishnu, Lord Shiva, they also distribute Srimad-Bhāgavatam since time immemorial. And we know that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, when he came in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was also reading Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So that's no wonder. Lord Vishnu, one may think, oh, Lord Vishnu is taking shelter of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Yes, Lord Krishna, who came in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was relishing Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Krishna himself is relishing Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Then we can just imagine how great this great literature Srimad-Bhāgavatam. It is mentioned that some hundreds of times Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was hearing the various portions of Srimad-Bhāgavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. So this is the glory of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, that Supreme Lord himself is relishing Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So if somebody wants to be happy, to be joyful, then one should take shelter of that great literature Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So these are all the glories of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. We can speak so much unlimitedly, but I just want to speak from Srimad-Bhāgavatam, the first few verses which set the tenure of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, how Srimad-Bhāgavatam goes. So that tenure is set by the first three slokas of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So I just want to read the first three verses and then read the translation, the amazing translation given by Srila Prabhupada. Then we can just go ahead. Saying further, we can speak more of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, but let us at least speak the first few verses, then we will know how wonderful Srimad-Bhāgavatam is. Definitely somebody who has read Srimad-Bhāgavatam, they will know how nectarian this literature is, and especially the first sloka, how exactly it perfectly immediately takes a person who is from the lower stage to the very high stage. So I am just reading the first verse of the first canto, first chapter, the beginning verse of the whole text of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Bhagavatam starts by glorifying Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmat Yasya Anvayat Itatascharteshu Abhinyaswararthene Brahma Hridayadikavaye Mukhyanti Yat Surayah Tejo Vari Mritam Yata Vinimayo Yatrat Sargom Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastakohakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Translation. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primal cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the eternal abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. It's amazing. How wonderful. Just the first verse of Srimad-Bhāgavatam just hits the point. It just hits the point that there is a creator, and that creator is Lord Sri Krishna, and one has to meditate upon him. He is the cause of all causes. The creation, maintenance and destruction is done by him, and the all great personalities who may be in this material universe, even the greatest of all greater personalities, or the best of all personalities of this material world, who are the biggest administrators of the universe, still they are also put under illusion because of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one should therefore meditate upon Him because He is the Supreme Absolute Truth. It just take this one verse and we can speak so much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Just the Janma Adi. Janma Adi meaning Janma, then followed by maintenance and Shrishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. Everything is just Janma Adi Yasya. Everything is from Him, that Supreme Personality of Godhead. And He is a Swarat, He is an independent person, and He is a person. Everything, just whole. People are actually seeking for the spiritual things. There are many spiritual seekers. They can just come to srimad-Bhāgavatam. They will find, yes, they are seeking ends in srimad-Bhāgavatam. They don't have to go further at all. Just they are seeking ends in srimad-Bhāgavatam. They don't have to seek further for anything. They can keep on seeking. But when they come to srimad-Bhāgavatam, they are seeking ends. Unless one comes to take shelter of srimad-Bhāgavatam, everybody is seeking in darkness. People are trying to seek something, but what will they find in darkness? They will never find anything. They can't even find themselves in darkness. So there is no use in seeking for something in darkness. We should come to the light. And that light is srimad-Bhāgavatam. That comes in srimad-Bhāgavatam itself. Krishne sudamopakate dharmo jnanadivisaha kalau nashta drishamesha puranarko dhanoditaha. Srimad-Bhāgavatam is the eternal light. It's a sun. Purana Arka. Arka refers to the sun. Srimad-Bhāgavatam is the sun that dissipates the darkness of this Kali Yuga. That's mentioned, but that doesn't mean that it can dissipate the darkness of Kali Yuga. In fact, this is mentioned because Krishna left this world at the beginning of Kali Yuga or at the end of Dwapara Yuga. Then because of the absence of Krishna, there was so much darkness engulfed. Then that Krishna appeared as Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So it is mentioned that this is Krishna's appearance in Kali Yuga in the form of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Then he rose as Purana Arka, the son of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So Srimad-Bhāgavatam is the sun. If somebody wants light, if the people, there are spiritual seekers, they are seeking for the light. Tamasoma Jyotir Kamaya. From darkness they want to come to the Jyoti. Jyoti Mazam Asmi. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am that Jyoti, and that Jyoti is appeared mercifully in that form of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So if somebody wants light, then it is very simple. Just come to the sun. You just come to the sun, you will see everything. You will see yourself and you will see the sun also. And that sun is really unlimitedly dissipating the sun rays. It will give all light for us to view anything and everything, including our own self and the sun itself. So somebody who is spiritually seeking, come to the sun of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Except for persons who are owl-eyed. Owl is a bird which doesn't open its eyes to see the sun. So if somebody is owl-eyed, then it is hard for them to come to the position of hearing Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So except for owl seekers, any seeker can come to Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Even if the owl seeker, definitely it's not possible for a person who is like an owl to open and see the sun of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. But as a human being, there is so many possibilities that we can come out of our owl position with our sincerity and see the sun of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So that is Srimad-Bhāgavatam. It is a beauty, it's a sun. It just dissipates all darkness. And this is Srimad-Bhāgavatam, so one should take shelter of that great literature, Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So that's the first verse that sets everything. Then comes the second verse, which I am going to read now. Dharma prochita kaitavatra paramo nirmat saranam satam vedyam vastavam atra vastu sivadam tapatrayon moolanam Srimad-Bhāgavate mahamuni krite kimva parair ishvara sadyo hridya varudyate atra kritavi shushushuvi statshanat. Translation: completely rejecting all religious activities. All religious activities. It is just amazing because we are speaking about religion, the best religion. But Bhagavatam is saying completely rejecting all religious activities. Then what is there in Srimad Bhagavatam? Because we thought this is some religious literature. Just see here. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. So Bhagavatam is a religious literature but without any material motives. This is meant for persons who want to be only spiritual. There is nothing material in Srimad Bhagavatam. This Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality, distinguished from illusion, for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. This is the second shloka. The very second shloka sets forth the highest thing that Srimad Bhagavatam is going to present to its readers. It is not going to present any hodgepodge idea. It is not going to present anything material. Even it is not going to present anything religious, but keeping its readers in a material platform. It is completely an eternal platform, but also whatever dharma, artha, kama, moksha Shastra speaks about, everything you can have in Srimad Bhagavatam by keeping Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's more than that. It's just more than that. Not even liberation is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma prochita kaitava. Bhagavatam kicks out even liberation, the concept of liberation, becoming mumukshavi. Mumukshavi so much desires moksha, is called a mumukshavi, but even that moksha, that liberation is kicked out of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then we can just imagine the position of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is such a glorious literature that it is taking the readers far beyond liberation that one can conceive of. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, and I am reading the third verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam shugamakat amrita dravasammitam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasiko bhuvi bhavukaha. Translation: O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. So Srimad Bhagavatam, it is saying that one should become a madman. Bhavukaha speaks. It's like someone who has become crazy. So Bhagavatam is saying that one has to become crazy. Actually, that term can be misunderstood. What is it? Bhagavatam wants us to become a madman. No, actually Bhagavatam says that one can become a lover of God. That's what Bhagavatam gives. That's prema pumarto mahan. Bhagavatam, it makes us a lover of God. And when one becomes a lover of God, then naturally he becomes mad. Even in the material world, when one becomes a lover, or when one has a lover or a beloved, naturally they become mad with each other. If the central point of loving somebody is to be always engrossed or completely conscious of the beloved, then naturally we know that madness prevails. That's very clear, that when one falls in love, even in a material world, one becomes mad after that person. And Srimad Bhagavatam is speaking about that great personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom everyone has to love, and that literature, Bhagavatam, is giving you the Not just a hint, but the process and also the perfection of how one can love the supreme, beautiful, all attractive, wonderful, amazing, supreme Lord Krishna. Then how mad one will become when one becomes a lover. When one falls in love with the Supreme Lord Krishna, one really will become a mad person. So in that way, it speaks bhavakaha, that you will become like a crazy person in becoming a lover of God. But the craziness is the actual sanity. If one actually wants to become a very sane person, then one has to become a lover of God, and that is possible by Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So one should take Srimad-Bhāgavatam, read it, and you will find for yourself that you are becoming a lover of Krishna, lover of God. And this sloka, that Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam, the first three slokas sets the tenure, how Srimad-Bhāgavatam is going. It just takes us to the higher level from the first sloka, and we can just stay in the high level for every sloka. Not that first sloka is high, then we comes down. No, it goes high, high, high. You just maintain, stay high forever by reading Srimad-Bhāgavatam. You don't have to come down at all. Bhagavatam will always keep you high, 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 high. That is Ananda Ambudhimartanam. It just always puts you in the highest ecstasy, and that ecstasy is a little bit described here in the third verse of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, that the result of hearing Bhagavatam will make you a bhavakaha. In fact, we all want to be loved. We all want to love someone, and we all want to be loved. And what is real love, and whom you can love, and the result of such love, everything is set forth in Srimad-Bhāgavatam. You just take a dip in Srimad-Bhāgavatam, just as whole Ganga is so nice, and what we can do, we can just take a dip. So Srimad-Bhāgavatam is so unlimited, we can only simply take a dip in Srimad-Bhāgavatam and relish the message of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. And just as we can take a dip in Ganga so many times, so whatever Bhagavatam we are having in the 18,000 slokas with purport given by His Divinity Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, let's take a dip as much as possible in that Srimad-Bhāgavatam. The whole Srimad-Bhāgavatam, we can have a dip, then again whole Bhāgavatam, take a dip. Dip after dip you can take, and you will see that your ecstasy is going more and more, and you can stay high forever. Definitely I'm not a person who is situated in a very high level, but I can with my reading, I can say that from a platform from where I was, at least we have moved to a good degree. Just as say example, we just want to go to America, but we have moved to such an extent that right now at least I am in the Bangalore airport. Not that I have gone to America, but at least right now I have moved to Bangalore airport. So this is a good advancement in my journey to America. So similarly, not that I am in a very high stage, I am saying definitely I am just making a point that at least we have moved closer to relish Srimad-Bhāgavatam. In that way, everyone can relish Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Definitely there is relation, otherwise we can't continue reading Bhāgavatam again and again, or even speaking about Srimad-Bhāgavatam. There is so much to relish in Srimad-Bhāgavatam. That's why we are speaking and we are recommending others, and you will know for yourself by reading and hearing and discussing Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Just as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he gives the example of a honey bottle. So I can say that, oh, this honey is so delicious, it is so nectarian, this is amazing, just wonderful. But unless one takes the honey, buys honey and then takes it, they cannot relish it. Or one can take the honey from the supermarket, buy, keep it, but just licking the bottle, what one can get? One has to open the bottle and take the honey, then one can actually relish honey. Similarly, one can relish Srimad-Bhāgavatam by having a dip in it, by reading it, by studying it. That is the real way of relishing Srimad-Bhāgavatam. But the first step begins with buying, and then the gradual steps of reading comes. Then you'll actually relish Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So please, the readers or the hearers of this class, I just recommend that you please take a study of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Definitely you will relish Srimad-Bhāgavatam. There is no doubt about it, because Shukamukat Amrita Drava Samitam. This is coming from the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva, Shuka refers to the parrot. We know that a parrot is known for its wonderful beak, and a parrot, when it bites the wonderful fruit mango, though the mango itself is very sweet, but then the mango bitten by a parrot is even more relishable. Mango becomes more relishable when it is bitten by the parrot. Similarly, the whole Srimad-Bhāgavatam is very, very relishable, but it has emanated from the great Shukadeva Goswami, who is so expertly chanted it, so it is even more nectarian. Bhagavatam itself is nectarian because it is about Krishna, but that Bhagavatam has become even more nectarian because of coming from the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami. So in that way, Bhagavatam is more relishable. So it is then said that Galitam Phalam, it's a fruit. And what is that fruit? Nigama Kalpataror, Kalitam Phalam. It's the ripened fruit of the tree of Vedic knowledge. This is the whole Veda is like a tree. We don't want to eat the trunk of a tree. We don't want to eat the branches of a tree or even the leaves of a tree. We don't want to eat the any part other than the fruit of the tree, because we know the whole tree in its crude form, in its best form, in its essence form is present in srimad-Bhāgavatam, in that fruit. So we take the fruit. In that way we know what the tree is all about. Similarly, the whole purpose of the Vedic literature is meant for presenting Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Just as the whole tree is meant for giving the fruit, similarly the whole Vedic literature, the whole body of Vedic literature, it may be the four Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva, all other Puranas or the Itihasas or the Brahma, Samhitas, Aranyakas, Upanishads, Brahma Sutta, every literature is meant for presenting Srimad-Bhāgavatam. The goal of all Vedic literatures is to present Srimad-Bhāgavatam, and that is the fruit of the whole body of Vedic literatures. And it is said that Pibata Bhagavata Rasamalayam. It's very interesting because Sukadeva goes, Vedavyas, he says that Khalitam Phalam, Bhagavatam is the fruit, but he says Pibata Bhagavatam. He says, drink the nectar of Srimad-Bhāgavatam. The first verse he says that this is a fruit, but in the third line he says this is to be drank. How it is possible? We never drink a fruit. We only eat the fruit. We only drink a juice. So the acharyas, they say that generally a fruit has a outer covering and also inside some part, some seed generally. But Bhagavatam doesn't have anything like that. The whole Bhagavatam is sweet. When we take a fruit, we throw away the skin, we throw away the seed, we eat the fruit, the nutritious and delicious part. But Bhagavatam doesn't have anything to be thrown away. When we are offered a juice, there is nothing to throw away, we just drink the juice. Similarly, Bhagavatam is presented in a fruit form, but it has nothing to be thrown about. You have to simply take everything in the form of juice. So it is called fruit, but which is taken as pibat, as a drinking part. So this is Srimad-Bhāgavatam. There is nothing to be thrown out. Every part of Srimad-Bhāgavatam, wherever you bite in Srimad-Bhāgavatam, it is always very, very nectarian sweet. So this is Srimad-Bhāgavatam, and that's the Amrita. It's very interesting because Sukadeva Goswami spoke Srimad-Bhāgavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, who was to die in 7 days. So the demigods, they heard this, that oh, the great personality Parikshit Maharaj, who is checking Kali from entering the earthly planet, is about to die in 7 days. And they heard that this 7-day talk which is going to happen between Shukadeva and Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj is such an amazing thing that we also want. So what the demigods do is that, headed by Indra, all the demigods, they line up and then come and have a discussion with Shukadeva Goswami. And then they are saying that they have lined up with the nectar in their hands. They are called Amaras. They have the nectar. So the demigods, they have the nectar in their hand, With that, one can free themselves from death. So they presented that death countering nectar to Sukadeva Goswami, saying that, "Oh, Sri Sukadeva Goswami, we are presenting this nectar to you, which can heal Maharaj Parikshit from his death. So we want to exchange Bhagavatam for that. You give Bhagavatam to us, we will give the nectar which will protect Parikshit Maharaj." Then Shukadeva Goswami replied, "O Indra, you are from Bogalok. You are from a lok where you are just enjoying material sense gratification. Bhagavatam is not for such people. Dharma prochita kaitavatra parvanirmat saranam. This is not for people who are just enjoying sense gratification." So even the demigods, in exchanging for nectar, they did not get Srimad Bhagavatam. Kvasuda kvakata. This is what Shukadeva Goswami says. That kvasuda kvakata. You are giving some nectar, but anything which has to be given as an exchange should have some equality. Say, I am purchasing 1 kg sugar, which is 100 rupees in the market. So I can give an equal value of 100 rupees for sugar and take it. It is an equal value. And wherever I go with 100 rupees, I can purchase another 1 kilogram sugar. So anything you want to exchange, it should be equally present. Only on equal things exchange can be done. But Shukadeva Goswami says, Kvasuda Kvakata, this is nothing equal at all. The nectar that you have is not at all equal to holy Bhagavatam. So this is no comparison to it, so I can't exchange Bhagavatam with the nectar that you have. So he was just kicked away. And Kvakacha and Kwa Manir Mahan. The Kach refers to a broken piece of glass or a glass piece. So, Manir Mahan, but Bhagavatam is the great jewel, the great diamond. All the other material things that Indra can bring forth and offer to the lotus feet of Sukadeva Goswami, these are all just broken glass pieces. And Bhagavatam is the Manir Mahan, it's the great jewel, it's the great diamond which can never be compared to all material things. So, he did not get his Bhagavatam, he could not hear, and then he has to leave, and then Bhagavatam was then spoken to Parikshit Maharaj for 7 days. So this is also glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Even the great demigods, they cannot get the real nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is very wonderful that the people in the material earthly planet now, Kali Yuga, they have the advantage of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should take advantage of this holy Srimad Bhagavatam. And that holy Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 5 slokas of Sanatana Goswami, the great Mahabhagavat. He spoke about Srimad Bhagavatam, which I want to read it and then want to conclude. So the first verse is like this. I just read all the 5 verses and then later we can speak of the translation. सर्वशास्त्रादि पीयूष सर्ववेदैक सत्फल सर्वसिद्धांत रत्नाद्य सर्वलोकैक दिक्प्रधा सर्वभागवत प्राण श्रीमद्भागवतो प्रभो कलिद्वंतोदितादित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तित परमानंदपतय प्रेमवर्ष्य कशरयाते यकशाश्रयते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्यया श्रीकृष्णाय नमोस्तुते मदेकबन्धो मदसङ्गिन् मद्गुरो मन्महाधन मन्निस्तरकमद्भाग्य मदानन्द नमोस्तुते असाधु साधु तद्दयिन् अतिनीचोच्चक्तकर हनमुञ्च कदच्चिन् मम प्रेम्ण हृत्कण्ठोऽयोस्फुरा. Translation. Actually, the 5 verses is from the Krishna Leelastava by Sanatana Goswami. He himself is a Bhagavata, he is a wonderful devotee of the Lord. So he says that, O Srimad Bhagavatam, O nectar churned from the ocean of all the Vedic scriptures. So Bhagavatam is like it's the nectar from the ocean of all Vedic literatures. You can just bring all the Vedic literatures. It's like a big ocean, it's like a big ocean. And just churn the ocean of Vedic literatures, you will get Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarva Vediti Asanam Saram Samudra. Even in Bhagavatam it is mentioned, like all Vedas are in the form of ocean, and you just churn the ocean, you get Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam, this is like a you have some 10-liter milk, you just churn it, then finally you get the cream, which is the butter. And Krishna is fond of butter. So that butter is Srimad Bhagavatam. The whole Vedas churned in, and then we get Srimad Bhagavatam. The whole Veda is like an ocean, and from that we get Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence of the whole ocean of Veda. But that essence of the Veda in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, that itself is like an ocean. It's an ocean of butter. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. That's wonderful. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, most prominent ornamental fruit of all the Vedas. Oh, you who are enriched with the jewels of all spiritual philosophical conclusions. O you who grant spiritual vision to all the people of the world, O life breath of the Vaishnava devotees, O Lord, you are the sun which has arisen to dispel the darkness of the Kali Yuga. You are actually Krishna who has returned among us. O Srimad Bhagavatam, I offer respectful obeisances unto you. By reading you, one attains eternal bliss. For your syllables rain pure love of God upon the reader. You are always to be served by everyone, for you are an incarnation of Krishna. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O my only friend, O my companion, O my teacher, O my great wealth, O my deliverer, O my good fortune, O my bliss, I offer respectful obeisances unto you. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O giver of saintliness to the unsaintly, O uplifter of the very fallen, please do not ever leave me. Please become manifested upon my heart and my throat, accompanied by pure love of Krishna. So Bhagavatam, it converts a unsaintly person into a saintly person. Atiniti Ucha, somebody who is neat, who is very, very down, Bhagavatam can uplift that person. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. That also you will find in Srimad Bhagavatam, how even the people who are like crow-like can become a swan-like. Anota Pashamam Shakshar Bhakti Yoga Madokshade. Bhakti Rutpatiyate. No. Bhakti Yoga Madokshade. But Chakre Satvata Samhitam, the people who are having all sorts of anarthas, so many anarthas, such persons can be elevated to Paramahamsas. This is a book of Paramahamsyam Sahitam. This is a book of Paramahamsas, but that literature can also uplift a person who is a Nietzsche, who is all of Anartha Pashamam, full of Anartha. He can be lifted to a high person in the level of Paramahamsa by Srimad Bhagavatam. Chakre Satvata Samhitam, to elevate such persons to the level of Paramahamsa, that Vedavyas has written this Satvata Purana Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's take advantage of Srimad Bhagavatam, and I have one wordings from the lecture that Srila Prabhupada gave in Los Angeles, January 5, 1974. I just read it. He just speaks some glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam, which every devotee should know it. Srila Prabhupada himself is saying, there is no comparison. Prabhupada says, there is no comparison. There is no literature throughout the universe like Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no comparison, there is no competition. Every word is for the good of the human society. Every word, each and every word. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada says that there is no comparison, there is no competition. Just as Krishna is Asamma Urdhva, there is nobody equal, Sama to Krishna, there is nobody who is Urdhva, above Krishna. Just as Krishna is Asamma Urdhva, Srimad Bhagavatam is also Asamma Urdhva. There is no one literature which is equal to Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no literature which can go above or it can compete with Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no competition. Who are all speaking of so many Vedas, Vedangas, they want this, they want to study, especially the Arya Samaj people. They say that we want to study the Veda, Rig, Yajur, Sam, Atharva. Or there may be some people who may say that I want to know this Chatur Veda, I want to become a Pandit. Come to Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhashyam Brahma Sutranam. This is the essence of all literature. You please come to Srimad Bhagavatam. Or someone may say, no, we are all from Brahmanas. We want to know the Gayatri. We want to the paravats of the Smarta. They may say that we want Gayatri. You come to Srimad-Bhāgavatam, that Gayatri is also there in Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Or there are some people who may say that we want to hear Puranas, come to Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Then some may say that we want to hear Mahabharata, Ramayana. Come to Srimad-Bhāgavatam, you will find everything in Srimad-Bhāgavatam. There is nothing lacking in Srimad-Bhāgavatam, because this is Krishna himself. Just as Krishna is Purna Purushottama Bhagavan, he is full. Similarly, Bhagavatam is full, complete. When you come to Srimad Bhagavatam, your thirst for happiness ends. Until you come to the lotus feet of Srimad Bhagavatam, we will keep on rotating for happiness, and we will never find. Just as Krishna is Raso Vai Saha Labdvananti Bhavati, Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure. That pleasure, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is there, can quench all our thirst for happiness. Quench our thirst for happiness ends when you come to Srimad Bhagavatam. So please come to the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. You will find it to be amazing. If someone wants to be happy, just take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And there is one other thing which I want to read from Srila Prabhupada, the same lecture, the continuation. With that, I will just close this talk. Srila Prabhupada continues. Each and every word of Srimad Bhagavatam is good for the human society. Therefore, we stress so much in the book distribution. Somehow or other, if the book goes in one hand, he will be benefited. At least he will see, oh, I have given so much, taken so much price. Let me see what is there. Oh, they have taken so much price. If he reads one sloka, his life will be successful. If one sloka, one word, this is such nice things. Therefore, we are stressing so much. Please distribute book, distribute book, distribute book. A greater mridanga. We are chanting, playing our mridanga. It is heard within this room or little more. But this mridanga will go home to home, country to country, community to community. This mridanga. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. That it has to be distributed for the good of the society, for the happiness of everyone in the universe, that we have to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam to make their life perfect. And one important thing which I want to add, because we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam for a long time, we know that Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken by Shukadeva Goswami. Just as whole Srimad Bhagavatam is relishable because it is about Krishna, and that Bhagavatam became more relishable because it has come from the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami. It is very relishable because of the presentation of Shukadeva Goswami. But you should know that relishable Srimad Bhagavatam from the lips of Shukadeva Goswami has come down in the Guru Parampara through so many Bhagavatas who are relishing as Shukadeva Goswami. So there are great persons like Sridhara Swami. He has brought down that divine fruit of Srimad Bhagavatam, added the more juice to Srimad Bhagavatam, more nectar to the Bhagavatam, and now getting more nectar coming in the Parampara. Other great Vaishnavas, they added their own nectarian juice, rasa, to Srimad Bhagavatam. Like that fruit of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is more and more nectarian is coming down, and that has now come to the lotus hand of Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada, he has made Srimad Bhagavatam even more sweet. The sweeter Bhagavatam is becoming more sweet by more and more nectar adding by the Purvacharyas. And Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, has perfectly given the distilled nectar from all the Purvacharyas in his commentaries, which is more relishable. Bhagavatam has become even more relishable than ever after coming through the lotus mouth of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam is just amazing. So please take it, read it, and glorify it and distribute it. As I said, those who don't have Bhagavatam, please buy it. Those who purchase Bhagavatam, read it. And those who are reading and buying, you please distribute it. And those who are distributing, distribute even more unlimitedly. Let's save the whole world by giving Srimad Bhagavatam. And I just finish here with the little glories that I have spoken about. So if there are any questions and comments, I just welcome here. Hare Krishna. Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I am waiting for a few minutes for any questions and answers.
I am sure that a lot of people, a lot of devotees will get inspired by this, and they will like to have Srimad Bhagavatam. I have pasted the link for if somebody want to book Srimad Bhagavatam online, or they can send us the message here or in the WhatsApp group as well, and we have given a contact number there as well in the chat. You can have a look. And now we are open for the question answer session. So if anybody has any questions, they can ask Prabhu. I think one question was there in the chat. Jyoti Mataji, would you like to ask the question?
Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you for allowing me to ask the question. Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
question is, I have two questions. The first question is, I have heard in Srimad Bhagavatam class that the demigods have different, means the Srimad Bhagavatam is there, but they have more extra verses and they have extra instructions. So, could you please guide? And there is a story behind that. I am not able to recall. So, if you could enlighten on that. The second question is, I heard that on the Bhagavatam, the 12 cantos symbolizes the parts of Krishna. So, could you please elaborate on that?
What the second question is? Hare Krishna Maji, can you just ask the second? Fine, yes. The second canto is please describe how Srimad Bhagavatam is connected with the form of the Lord. So it is said in the Shastra that the first two cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam represents the two lotus feet of the Lord. Then the two thighs of the Supreme Lord represents the third and the fourth cantos. Then comes the waist, which is the fifth. Then the upper part is the sixth, and the seventh and eighth cantos refers to the arms of the Lord, and then the ninth canto refers to the neck of the Lord. Then the 10th canto refers to the beautiful face of the Lord. The 11th canto is the freedom of the Lord, and then more higher comes the top portion comes the 12th canto of the Lord. This is the thing which I can remember. I am just saying, but this is how it is. If it's for a clear thing, maybe I can just give you the reference also. This is how the form of the Lord is representing the different cantos. Then the first question is that how is it that the demigods they're also having some portion of Srimad Bhagavatam, something like that I heard. I'm not pretty sure about that, but definitely the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam is sang everywhere. Just to make us understand that the nectar which is available in the heavenly planet is in no way compared to the real nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. That glorification is mentioned in the other Puranas, that even Devalok, the residents of Devalok who are after sense gratification, they cannot get. Even if Srimad Bhagavatam, somebody approaches Srimad Bhagavatam with a material motive, they will not find anything in Srimad Bhagavatam. In that sense, it is not available for the persons who are enjoyers of the material world. If somebody wants to, of course, even if somebody who is wanting to enjoy the material enjoyment, but by coming in contact with Srimad Bhagavatam, they will give up their material enjoyment. So in that way, everybody can have access of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's how it is mentioned like that. And I see that there are some 80 plus viewers here. Many will be having Srimad Bhagavatam, but I just want to stress that there are thousands and thousands of people who are not at all having Srimad Bhagavatam and suffering, and then we are having hundreds of friends, relatives who may not have Srimad Bhagavatam. I humbly request that let's save the whole society by giving Srimad Bhagavatam. Definitely, one can say that it's not a big thing because this Bhadra Purnima is also coming, our temple opening is also happening. One can sponsor for a set. Sponsoring, how much we can sponsor? We can sponsor to 1 person, 2 person, or even maybe some 10-20 persons in our whole life. But definitely you can distribute unlimited Bhagavatam sets to many persons, whomever you are contacting with. So there is unlimited potential in distributing Srimad Bhagavatam also. We don't have to sponsor. Sponsoring is good. Okay, who is not capable, we want to give. But who is not capable now? Everybody is having not less than 10,000 rupees smartphone. So which is cheaper in price compared to the Bhagavatam print. So everybody can afford Srimad Bhagavatam right now. So we should somehow push our friends, relatives to go and buy for Srimad Bhagavatam. Yena kena prakarena manakrishna niveshyat. Let's somehow engage our friends, relatives who are not having Srimad Bhagavatam to go for Srimad Bhagavatam. Let them take it. Let them, even an enemy, even our enemy should be given Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the Vaishnava culture, that is a Vedic culture. Even a enemy should be given the best welfare work. So let's deliver all our friends, relatives, enemies, known persons, unknown persons by delivering Srimad Bhagavatam, the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Any technical questions, definitely when you take Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll be able to know it. So is there are there any questions, especially with regard to some glories? And as I said, there are glories of Bhagavatam is ocean. How much I know. I even the many glories that I know, I can only present something in this 1 hour time. There are so many glories for Srimad Bhagavatam. There are unlimited glories for Srimad Bhagavatam. Any other question? Yes, bro. I think. Yes, bro. I think.